Good evening to all. Subh Sandhya. A very warm greeting to all here for this national level orientation on climate change webinar. I am more than grateful to be here and welcome you all. Here, I, Bipsana Das, block leader from East Coast Railway, along with Miss Santoshi Singh, Ranger from Southeastern Railway, welcome our all dignitaries of Bharat Scouts and Guide, National Headquarters, UNICEF, and all the audience. Climate change is a major problem to our entire society. The effects are really visible. Let's hand together for cure in our society and community. Now, moving forward to orientation on climate change webinar. I would like to request everyone stand in your respective places for general salute. Webinar Savdhan. General salute. जैसे थे.
I would now request the IT team to kindly play the BSG prayer.
दया कर दान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना, दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना, हमारे ध्यान में आओ प्रभु आँखों में करके परम ज्योति जगा देना, बहा दो प्रेम की गंगा, दिलों में प्रेम का सागर, हमें आपस में मिलजुल कर प्रभु रहना सिखा देना, हमारा कर्म हो सेवा, हमारा धर्म हो सेवा, सदा ईमान हो सेवा, वो सेवक चर बना देना, वतन के वास्ते जीना, वतन के वास्ते मरना, वतन पर जान फिदा करना, प्रभु हमको सिखा देना, दया कर दान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना, दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना.
Thank you all. Thanks for the cooperation. Please be seated. Comfortable enough. फूल खिलते हैं जब आप मुस्कुराते हैं. फूल खिलते हैं जब आप मुस्कुराते हैं और जहां जाते हैं चार चांद लगाते हैं. उस मंच की शोभा का क्या कहना, उस मंच की शोभा का क्या कहना जहां आप जैसे अतिथि आते हैं.
Now, I humbly invite Mr. Anilendra Sharma Sir, Assistant Director from Northeast Region for welcome address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dipsana. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Greetings of the day. Most respected distinguished dignitaries from UNICEF and Bharat Scout and Guide, and our chief guest from WAX, attendees of this webinar and viewers in social media channel, and our dedicated team members who are working hard to make this event successful and meaningful one. The Bharat Scout and Guide is the leading uniform educational movement with more than 6.3 million members in the nation, which is a voluntary, non-political working with the young people to develop physical, intellectual, spiritual, social, and emotional aspects through a value-based system which is open to all without distinction of origin, race, and creed, to make them active, responsible citizens of our country, to create a better India. BSG is affiliated to World Organization of the Scout Movement and World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Our international body of the 115 years old Scout movement. Again, UNICEF worked in over 190 countries and territories to save children's lives, to defend their rights, and to help them fulfill their potential from early childhood through adolescence. Collaboration of BSG and UNICEF India is very important for youth, for the nation. We can see a better India in near future with the joint effort of both the organizations. On behalf of National Headquarters of Bharat Scout and Guide, I extend hearty welcome to our chief guest of this webinar, Ms. Raju, Program Manager, UN Challenge Based WAX. Also, we welcome Zimli Borua, Mr. Pankaj Mathur, Mr. Narendra Singh Chauhan, Mrs. Monica Maria from UNICEF. The team of UNICEF is here for this orientation webinar. Also, we extend hearty welcome to our respected director, Bharat Scout and Guide, Dr. Rajkumar Kaushik sir, and all the national headquarters professionals. Also, I extend hearty welcome to our joint director guides, Darshana Pavaskar, ma'am, all the office bearers and officials of national headquarters and state headquarters who are connected in this webinar now. All the participants connected through Zoom and social media, all team members, and especially Master of Ceremony. Both of you are most welcome for this webinar. Once again, I welcome you all and hope an enjoyable webinar and peaceful evening ahead. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks for your warm welcome, sir. On behalf of the Bharat Scouts and Guides, from the very core of my heart, I too would like to welcome you in this orientation session. Moving forward, try and leave this world a little better than you found it. And when your turn comes to die, you can die happily in feeling that at any rate you have not wasted your time, but have done your best. Leave this world a little better than you found it, as Lord Baden-Powell said. On this extremely remarkable note, I would now like to heartily welcome Srimati Darshana Pavaskar ma'am, Joint Director of Guides, Program and Training, to come up and present the keynote address. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Santoshi, Deep Shona. I would like to echo what Analendra said, is welcoming all the participants. We have got around 290 participants from BSG who are into this orientation session on climate change. Welcome all my dear children, my dear change makers. Yes, because of you is BSG standing strong and boasting about all the various activities that we do at grassroots. Today we are starting a new episode on working on hand wash and climate change along with UNICEF. The first step is this webinar, as well as there is various activity pack which has been released. We look forward for creating awareness on the importance of hand wash and climate change with the BSG members and working on substantial change with SDG. Developing the social capital and disseminating the key messages on hand wash and climate change in the community, as well as providing a platform to adolescents for local solutions and innovations on climate change and hand wash. Climate change is nothing new for all the members who are present here, all my advocacy champions, my little bulbuls from age 5 who talk about hand wash, and also my unit leaders who do a huge lot of work along with their unit of 40-45 children on climate change. Now it's time for us to come together and show how big BSG as an organization is and what we can do with small little actions that we do in our regular life. We are having a webinar we are having a workshop which is going on in the national headquarters on advocacy champions and what we would like to have as an organization for the next 5 years. So we're doing evaluation and planning at national headquarters on climate change. At the same time, our children are looking forward for this huge called Jamboree, with 35,000 odd children who would be coming. So how we are going to make this Jamboree city plastic free? With this note, I welcome you all again. At the same time, look forward for having fruitful outcomes and thoughts and small little ideas which you can take back home to your unit and your community to make a better place for you and for everyone around you. Thank you and welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your lovely words. It begin this webinar program with Enlightening the Lamp by our chief guest, Ms. Rojo Andrew Mehri, ma'am, program manager, UN Challenge Batch, WAX, requested to IT team enlight the lamp.
Okay, thank you so much, Deep Sona. Thank you for the introduction, and I really appreciate the invitation from BSG. As I am here at the national headquarters of BSG in India, I'm really glad to be here. And I also welcome all the participants who are in this webinar. So for WAX, as you know, WAX is the largest association in the world for girls and young women. We have 150 countries, 152 countries, members of the association, including BSG. So at WAX, we care about the Earth, and climate change is the biggest challenge of our generation and poses a serious threat to our future. And in many countries around the world, included here in India, girls and young women are overly affected by climate change and environmental change. And this is because unequal systems means that in most countries, girls and women are more likely to live poverty, have less access to basic human rights, face regular violence that worsen during the time of instability, like natural disaster. And we know that even though girls and women can and do play a vital role in responding to environmental damage and climate change, they are often excluded from the conversation and their participation in decision-making at all levels. This is the reason why we have different programs at WAX, like Girl-led Action for Climate Change or Plastic Tide Turners Challenge program. We are giving those for the girls to be the solutions of the issue. So we are giving, what I can say is that when we are giving the power to people, they can work in mass trash. Let's all remember that we have one Earth, and let's join our effort to keep our Earth healthy and clean. And I wish you all a fruitful program. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rojo ma'am. Thanks for such inspiration and kind words. अतिथि सत्कार बिना हर अरदास अधूरी होती है. अतिथि सत्कार बिना हर अरदास अधूरी होती है. अतिथि ही वो फरिश्ते हैं जिनके आने से हर आस पूरी होती है. जिनके आने से हर आस पूरी होती है. On this very delightful note, I would like to acknowledge you all that in our presence we have a phenomenal figure this evening, and she is none other than Miss Jimli Barao. Talking about her excellence, she is the Social and Behavior Change Specialist, UNICEF. I would request ma'am to come up and present her address. Please, ma'am, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. And first of all, namaskar to everyone, and a very, very good afternoon, and rather evening to all the people, all the 299 participants who are here today, who are joining us online on this beautiful day and this beautiful platform. So first of all, I really want to convey my deep appreciation to the entire team of Bharat Scouts and Guides, and especially the dignitaries, Amalindu ji, Pavashkar madam, and Rojo Wags, who we saw on screen just now. It's indeed a deep pleasure and a privilege for UNICEF to partner with Bharat Scouts and Guides. This is such a wonderful, collection of young people, collection of energies, collection of bright minds, and this is something that we always look forward to, because one of the objectives of UNICEF is to connect with people, and through the larger community, through the children, because UNICEF works with children, and for the development of children across the world, across India. So one of the objectives is how we can connect with more and more people who will take us to towards our objectives of working with the children, of making the lives of children better in this country. With this beautiful objective, we are so happy to connect with the team of Bharat Scouts and Guides. You have a huge network across the country, we know, and as a little girl, I was also a part of Bharat Scouts and Guides. I worked very briefly, but it was a beautiful, beautiful memory for me still today. So I know what the strength of Bharat Scouts and Guides is. And you have over 10,000 Scouts and Guides in this country. And this huge, this huge gathering of energy, of hope and power that you have, that is what we want to associate with. And hence, we are very happy, me and my colleagues who are here, Monica, Pankajji, Narendraji, we are very, very happy and very excited about this partnership. And coming to the topic of this webinar on climate change and water sanitation and climate change, as Madam Roko was just saying, this is a very, very important topic that we are looking forward to working in our new country program, which is going to start next year, the 5-year program. So that is one of the very key area. And it's not just for UNICEF, because globally, the world is worried, the world is anxious about climate change and how we are going to address this challenge. But we can start with small actions. We can start with little things. And who are the best people to do these things? The young people, the youth. And youth is the power of the nation. Youth is the future of the nation. And the young people can be great influencers in their families, in your schools, in the society at large. When you speak, people listen. So we are looking at you all as young people, as young girls and boys, to take some very small messages, some small actions about which my colleague Pankaj ji will talk about, on little things that we can do to make climate change a reality. So that, you all have a better life, we have a better future, and we do a lot for our country. So with these few words, without taking much time, because we have some very interesting sessions coming up, all I want to tell you all who are present today, or I see over 301 participants, is to listen attentively to the sessions and participate actively. If you have questions, please ask questions to our specialists, our wash specialists, Pankaj ji and Narendra ji, who are here. Monica ji is going to be here. She'll also present a session. So if you have any questions, आपके कोई questions हो, कोई queries हो, mind में कुछ, मन में कुछ हो जो आप share करना चाहते हैं आप, please हाथ उठाइए and don't hesitate to share. Okay, and I look forward to this beautiful workshop and webinar, and I wish the entire team the very best for this webinar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Namaskar. Santoshi, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for such inspirational words.
Thank you, ma'am.
Over to Dipshona Di.
Thank you, Santoshi. It's my privilege to extend my warm welcome to Mr. Pankaj Mathur sir, was SSCCES specialist UNICEF on the topic of climate change and its effect. Sir, please.
Good afternoon again. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you, Pankaj.
And can you also see the presentation?
Yes, we can see the beautiful slide on the screen. Go ahead.
Okay. So, for this opportunity, Bharat Scouts and Guides and their leaders and peer leaders, my colleagues from SBC, we call it SBC, responsibility of mobilizing the behavior change in community, Jimli and Monica. Thank you.
Pankaj, your voice is gone. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
And I need to share the screen again.
Screen again, yes.
Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so climate change, and we will also try to touch upon the important issue of hand washing. And we really see that this is a good opportunity to, directly, as I was informed, around 10,000 members of our Scouts and Guides who probably would be reached. Them are directly, connected today in this important session. So we are
Your voice is gone again, Pankaj.
So, आप वीडियो मेरे ख्याल से बंद करके बोलेंगे तो शायद नेटवर्क का इशू है थोड़ा, और अगर स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रही तो हम इधर से भी शेयर कर सकते हैं.
Pankaj, are you able to share your screen? I mean, it's just frozen off. We can also show, Monica, we have the presentation, right? We can show the...
Yeah, we have the presentation. Naren, would you like to share the presentation?
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
And then Pankaj can speak.
I think we lost him.
I think it's just... Shall we just call him?
Can you hear me? I'm so sorry. There is some issue with the network, but I'm back again. Monica, can you please confirm?
Visible. Screen is visible.
Monica, can you please confirm?
Yes.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Audible. Yes.
Also?
But if you like, Naren can do the sharing part.
Then he can speak.
Yes. Because your voice is also breaking.
Okay. Naren, can you take up the part, this presentation part?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Please unshare. Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible, Naren. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, so let me start and then I'll hand over to Narendra at the later stage. So I'm so sorry for this goof up because it's because of the electricity which had emitted. Suddenly it has actually vanished at my home and then connection was lost. But thankfully I'm back again. Can you go to the next slide, please? So when we really talk about our surroundings are made up of four important spheres. We call them atmosphere, which is basically the air around us. We do have hydrosphere, which is water around us. We have geosphere, which is basically geography or the land and the land masses which we see around here, and then important aspect of biosphere, where we see the all the living beings there, be it animals or be it plants or be it trees and everything. Living beings are called the biosphere. So all these things together consist of the important aspect of our overall surroundings. But how these surroundings are getting affected, we'll see in the next slide. Next slide, please. So first of all, we also need to understand that what is the difference between the weather and the climate, because most of the time what people actually do that they invariably use these two words. I mean, I would say interchangeably. But when we really see the weather part of it, it is a very short-term state of the atmosphere. We know that there are principal weathers in 1 year, which is maybe winter, summers, or rains. But it can also change within minutes or hours. However, the climate is basically a long-term pattern of weather, and this average weather over many years in one specific place. So when we really want to go to a particular place, let's say for example, so what we like to see immediately the weather part of it, that how much is the temperature, is there any rain or not. But we also would like to see a climate of that particular area, that how the overall the long-term pattern of weather is actually behaving in this in that particular area. So we cannot use these two words interchangeably. We need to be very specific. We know that very abruptly, but how the climate is changing, we also need to see that. Next slide. Here we can see that principally there are 4 or 5 type of climate across the globe. The climate system is the result of very delicate energy balance. Here you can see the tropical climate, the dry climate, the temperate climate, continental climate, as well as the polar climate. So the world, when you really see the long-term weather, its climate, and then you can very well see the red part showing there is basically the tropical climate. but we also see the dry climate in many parts of Africa or maybe Middle East or some part of China or maybe Australia. We also see the temperate climate in the different part of the world, mostly part of Europe or maybe some part of China, some part of Africa, Latin America. Then we do see the continental, which is basically the major part of Europe and North America, and also the polars. We have South Poles on and the North Poles. So this is how the climate is basically there in the world. Next, please. So, but what is now happening? Then there is a climate change. So we have been actually discussing about this important phenomena of the climate change. So what is climate change? It's basically a change in average weather and local extremes for an extended period of time. We know that each and every area has a climate, but this climate is also changing very fast. It has a long-term impact on the overall well-being of the hydrosphere, the biosphere, the geosphere, as well as the atmosphere. And how this is in the couple of slides. Next, please. Next one. So one of the phenomena is called the greenhouse effect. Normally, what happens when the sun shines? There is some kind of energy which comes to our earth, and most of this heat actually escapes out of the atmosphere. But some of the heat part is actually retained in our atmosphere. But because of the greenhouse gases, and we'll also see what greenhouse gases are there. Next slide. You can very well see that there is a plume, and there is also some kind of this gases coming out of anthropogen. We call them anthropogenic uses, basically, with at the home, or maybe vehicular pollution, or maybe cutting of trees. So these kind of greenhouse gases, they generate in our environment, and then they actually imbalance the overall balance which is there in the environment. And once these sun rays will come on our earth, they actually get trapped in the atmosphere, and ultimately it causes the temperature to rise up. It is just like that, if you are sitting in the open sun on your terrace, and if you really want to cover yourself with some plastic or something like that, where that energy would come in but it wouldn't go out, then if it is a winter season, then definitely you will feel some kind of pleasure. But if it is summer season, you will start feeling very hot, and heat will accumulate in that plastic or the polythene part of it. And so this is the same kind of phenomena where greenhouse gases are actually trapped in the environment, and that they do not go out of atmosphere, and the average temperature of Earth gets increased. Next, please. So what these greenhouse gases are there? This is not very, I would say a typical rocket science kind of a thing, but we know the carbon dioxide, fluorinated gases, methane, nitrogen, nitrous oxide, particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, and also, the ozone, which is there in our troposphere, and then also some kind of volatile organic compounds which are there in the environment. They do remain there in the environment. We know the carbon dioxide is there because we exhale carbon dioxide out of our body. There are fluorinated gases. There is methane, which is again by burning of fossil fuels, plus nitrogen. We know that major part of our atmosphere is nitrogen. These gases are there, but because of the long-term uses of vehicles, or maybe the fossil fuels, the level actually goes up, and then they get trapped in the environment, and it actually causes the warming of our environment. So this is the major effect of the climate change, that because of these activities, the local climate of a particular area gets changed. That if you feel that 20 years back or 25 years back in one particular area, the summers were let's say 2 months, but now these summers are there for 3 months or 4 months. Winters are have extended periods, or rains have actually a shorter time period now. This may be because of the climate change. Next. So what is the origin and effect of global warming? It's not warming, it is basically global warming. We call it the global warming or the greenhouse gases effect. Use of the fossil fuels, which we actually do on a daily basis, be it, oil, coal or gas, they actually causes the rising concentration of greenhouse gases in our environment. And because of that, there are rising temperature across the globe. We call it global warming. And that actually causes a change in local average climate, and they also cause change in the local weather extremes. We know that every year we see more and more, cyclones and more, sometimes droughts or sometimes floods in those areas, which have conventionally not been, drought or floods, but it actually happens. It is just because of the fact that that there is a climate change, and then there is a general, rise in temperature across the globe. You must have heard some of the stories that the glaciers are melting, the ice in the South Pole and the North Pole is actually melting because of the global warming. So this is the effect which the climate change is actually bringing. And as I already said, that this is because of majority of fossil fuel uses, and not uses, I mean, I would say an indiscriminate use of fossil fuels across the globe, which causes this climate change to happen, the greenhouse gases to accumulate, and rise in overall temperature across the globe. Next, please. So we can very well see what are the causes of climate change. There are some anthropogenic concerns, which I already said that these are man-made kind of, reasons for climate change. Use of chemical fertilizer, deforestation, increased vehicles, emission of greenhouse gases, industries, emission of carbon dioxide is, and also, other greenhouse gases is something which is there in our control, but we are not able to control because of the indiscriminate development which has happened across the globe. But again, at the same time, there are also some natural causes which are because of solar cycle or maybe ocean currents, forest fires, volcanic eruptions, and also some of the reasons which are beyond our control, but they also cause the climate change to happen and average temperature of the globe to increase. Next. But what actually happens because of the climate change on globe? We see that there is a number of climate related disasters have tripled in last 30 years. So as I was telling that, be it flood or be it drought or be it, cyclones, they have tripled in numbers in last 30 years just because of the fact that climates are changing. The climate is changing. Between 2006 and 2016, 10 years, the rate of global sea level, actually, there was a rise of almost 2.5 times faster than it was almost there for 20th century. So 20th century average, but in just 10 years, it has grown almost 2.5 times faster in just 10 years because of the climate change. More than 20 billion people across the globe are forced with, some kind of, climate change in 1 year. The United Nations Environment Program estimates that adapting a climate change and coping with damages will cost developing countries approximately 140 to 300 billion US dollars per year by 2030. So it's not just about, the physical changes. It also have a big impact on the finances across the countries, where countries need to put more and more money to fight the climate change. And in past 100 years, the global average temperature has risen by almost 0.74 degrees Celsius. It looks very, very small, just 1 degree Celsius, but 1 degree Celsius means a bigger impact across all the countries. And they have been almost 14 of the hottest year in recorded in the last 16 years. So this way you can very well see that almost 90% of the year where people have actually felt more heat than before. So these are the major effect of climate change. Next. In our country, when we really see, it's almost when we really see that 250,000, almost 2.5 lakh additional deaths per year hoti hain because of malnutrition, malaria, diarrhea, and heat strokes. This is WHO estimate. And according to Ministry of Environment and Science Climate Change Assessment of 2020, the average temperature over India is projected to rise approximately 4.4 degrees centigrade by 2100. The status quo remains. So it means in next almost 78 years to 80 years, the average temperature will grow by 4.4 degree, almost 5 degree, which will be a catastrophic situation in terms of availability of water, in terms of availability of sunny days, in terms of availability of winter days, or maybe rainy days across the country. We have a severe air pollution. This is not a new story now. Every year we hear stories from Delhi and other metropolitan areas where people can't even breathe properly, or they can't even open their eyes properly because of the high air quality index, because of suspended particulate matters or particulate matters. Water scarcity, of course. 600 million Indians will face acute water shortage. This is Niti Aayog 2018 estimation. Huge monetary loss. India lost almost $37 billion in 2018 because of climate change. There is an increased disaster risk. I already said that flash floods in 78 or 89 urban areas, including Kerala floods and cyclone Fani, Amphan, are because of the majority are because of the climate change. And India's environmental performance index ranked around 177 out of 180 countries. It means we are doing pretty, I mean, I would say a dangerous situation at this particular moment. Next please. So in the nutshell, because of the climate change, they are changing disaster patterns. We see more floods, we see more cyclones, we see more heat wave, more drought, sea levels are rising, more mosquitoes and disease across the country. So these are the visible patterns which we can see, but there are also patterns which we cannot predict, we cannot see directly from our eyes, but they are there. Next. So recent events, if we really want to recall, cyclones, and then also the wildfire which we actually heard from Australia, and East African drought, and then the drought also in many parts of our country. So these are majorly because of the climate change. Next. So what do we do now? I mean, we can't just wait and watch. And there is an estimate which says that countries have around 12 years, just 12 years to reduce global warming before it reaches the catastrophic levels. So that's important, and it's time to act now. And what we can do, I mean, I would request my friend Narendra to take it from here and guide you through the different things which we can do at individual level, at community level. Narendra, please take over.
Yes, sir. So thank you, Pankaj. So as we have connected with youth and actually coming generation and for children, we have to preserve the climate. So it's time to action now, so that in coming days, situation will be not getting more worse and we can balance. So continuing to where Pankaj left, so there are climate indicators. So we can map through the annual surface temperatures change in our region, in our country, and worldwide. The carbon dioxide concentration is also increasing. Change in sea level, land cover, and alternate indicators. Frequency of climate related disasters and perceptions. So so climate is changing, so there is need to change to our youth, there is need to change to everyone, so that we can preserve it and we can protect it. So what we can do together? So first, everyone need to be learn what is the climate change and what is the pattern in my region, in my country, and how we can contribute to reduce the overall climate change scenario on global level as well as at regional level. So let's get together in a group, in a youth group, to discuss in and understand the scenario of climate change in our region, and what are the acts which is contributing for this change, and how we can reduce it, and how we can protect the environment and contribute for this. Let's start raising the awareness. So we can start from ourselves, then our house, our family, and then our peers and our community, so that everyone can come together and contribute, take steps to contribute and reduce the impact of change.
Narendra? Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, better now. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take steps together to contribute and reduce the impact of change. We can say 4 or 5 steps for this. If we are considering to work with youth, so find out more about the climate change, integrate in our activities, identify the problem and link it to our current work, and plan your action. So if we are working for water, so what is the challenge with water and climate? If we are working for sanitation, so how we are impacting climate through the environmental pollution or other things. So we have to relate it with our work, our profession, our life, and then we have to work on the solutions. Start spreading the word and work on the plan. So how we can develop a action plan for awareness, action plan for action plan for further planning, and plan our next steps for coming days. So some small steps which can be started, like waste less food, so methane from agriculture activities, so better waste management, efficient use of energy, and reduce the fossil fuels to protect the environment. So processed food, how we can limit the processed food and go towards the natural diets, so that plant-based food habit can be preferable and also promoted. Consume less energy and water, start switching to LED light bulbs, start adopting the renewable energy, so that we can save energy and reduce the carbon footprints. Call and meet with our political representatives to advocate on raising the topic around us. So how youth can become an advocate to push this agenda at local governance level, at state governance level, and national governance level, and as well as global forums, so that we can together address these issues. We need volunteers, climate warriors, to inform and sensitize everybody about this thing, because we cannot see from the eyes, but it's happening, and it's happening very fast, and coming days will be very threatful if we are not starting action from now. So we have to create different type of platform to extend dialogue on common ground. And if someone fears climate change policy will hurt coal industry jobs, then we have to also advocate for that how we can plan better, so that it should not impact our employment also, but we can work for better solutions and better climate for everyone. So let's act with climate action, and there are some references. So continuing to this, I am also going to share some story and experience from other states. So I'm also related with Odisha. So we have also created a youth platform there, and this is known as Youth for Water. So I'm going to share here a short video. So please confirm if sound is coming. Otherwise, I will switch. Otherwise, I will reshare. Video is visible?
No, Narendra, I think you have to open it from the browser itself.
Okay.
Because this is not going to the browser.
Okay.
And also, you also need to see the voice part of it.
Okay.
Just open it in browser and then share your screen. I think it should work. Is it working?
Yes, yes. So now I'm sharing. Is it visible? Visible?
Yes.
The Youth for Water campaign is driving young people towards wash and climate action, engaging young minds, and supporting youth to create change in their own communities. Spreading its roots since 2020, the Youth for Water campaign brings together diverse organizations in a massive effort to empower Odisha's youth to rise up and fight the climate crisis. In Phase 1, from 2019 to 2021, the campaign focused on connecting youth in various colleges around wash and climate issues.
We are very excited to see that during just 1 year, the campaign organized young people around important events concerning water and sanitation and related spheres, and has reached out to about 5,000 youths.
Phase 2, from 2021 to 2022, aimed to engage with youth on a massive scale, turning the constraints of COVID into an opportunity for a physical and digital campaign. On World Water Day, 3,000 youth joined hands to clean river banks and embankments, celebrating Jal Mahotsav.
ଗ୍ରାମାଞ୍ଚଳରେ ଯୋଉଠି ଜନସାଧାରଣ ଏତେ ସଚେତନ ନାହାନ୍ତି ସେଠି ସଚେତନତା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ରହୁଛି ତେଣୁ ଯୁବପିଢ଼ି ହିଁ ଏ କାମ କରିବ ବୋଲି ମୁଁ ଆଶା କରୁଛି।
On Global Hand Washing Day, 6,000 youth practiced hand hygiene together, raising awareness and creating a national record in the India Book of Records.
ହାତକୁ ସଫା ରଖିବାର ବାର୍ତ୍ତା ଆପଣମାନେ ପ୍ରଚାର କରନ୍ତୁ ଏବଂ ନିଜେ ସୁସ୍ଥ ରହିବା ସହିତ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ସୁସ୍ଥ ରଖିବାରେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରନ୍ତୁ।
Youth for Water connected Odisha's youth with global experts and youth icons who provided youth with training and mentoring to become change makers.
The climate crisis actually is a water crisis.
We don't need to change people's behavior, we need to change people's minds. They need to understand, they need to really internalize the need for hand hygiene.
The campaign amplified the voices of young people and provided them opportunities to interact with lawmakers and senior leaders.
ସମସ୍ତେ ଜଣେ ଜଣେ ଚାମ୍ପିୟନ ଅଫ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ତେଣୁ ବସିକି ମତ ବିନିମୟ କରିବାର ଯେଉଁ ମିଳିଲା ସୁଯୋଗ ସେଟା ମତେ ବହୁତ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କଲା ମୁଁ ବହୁତ କିଛି ଶିଖିଲି।
Young people were invited for discussions and policy consultations, providing leaders with their inputs and aspirations.
When youth have ideas or changes that they want to bring about in public policy, they should know how they can get their voices included in the policies that are being made by the government.
Youth participated by sharing their stories of change and their voices on various issues related to wash and the climate. On social media, the campaign led several competitions and youth action challenges, reaching out to over 5 lakh youth online. The Youth for Water website showcased events, resources, and youth voices, making it a hub for wash and climate knowledge. The campaign reached out to people through community radios, newspapers, global media publications, and TV channels to highlight wash and climate issues. 10,000 rural youths were engaged through community radio activities. The campaign created training modules, fact sheets, wash talk videos, and other knowledge resources for young people. Designed in an easy self-learning format, the Wash Guardian training modules in Oriya support youth to take action in their own communities. 20,000 youth were trained to be wash guardians through these specialized modules. Over 18,000 youth were oriented on wash entrepreneurship. The Youth for Water Innovation Awards to recognize and nurture wash entrepreneurs received 230 applicants, and 11 awardees will receive cash prizes and mentorship support.
Many youths are actually cleaning rivers, cleaning ponds, working on plastic waste, recycling, e-waste, construction waste, cloth recycling. A lot of innovations and ideations are sitting among the youth. If we can all work together and make some of these ideas work, I think we have made that dent.
Youth for Water's next phase will build on partnerships, channelize grassroots action, and help Odisha's youth shine on the global stage. The campaign aims to connect and engage with 10 lakh youth and train over 5 lakh youth to become wash guardians. Come join the Youth for Water campaign and be a part of Odisha's wash and climate revolution.
So this is about the Youth for Water campaign, and where focus is on the climate action. And also, I would like to share a short video where youth are coming together and working to protect the wetlands, Chilka wetlands. Screen is visible, or I have to switch?
No, that is visible.
This new video.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to play it.
धीरे धीरे जो क्लाइमेट चेंज हुआ और ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हुआ, इसके वजह से ये थोड़ा थोड़ा पोल्यूटेड हुआ। यहाँ के जितने भी सब गांव के आदमी लोग काम कर रहे थे यहाँ पे, वो लोग माइग्रेट होके दूसरे सिटी में चले गए काम करने, लाइक सूरत, बेंगलोर, हैदराबाद। ये जो चिलिका लेक आप देख रहे हैं, बहुत साल पहले ये यहाँ पे 5,000 या 6,000 बर्ड्स आ रहे थे पहले, लेकिन अभी ये 6 लाख तक पहुँच गए हैं। एक ही वजह है इसके लिए कि हम लोग जागरूक होके, जितने भी बाहर से आते हैं टूरिस्ट लोग और यहाँ के जितने भी गांव के लोग हैं, हम लोग पोल्यूशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए बहुत सारे स्टेप्स लिए हैं। जैसे कि प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स जो भी आता है यहाँ पे फेंक देते हैं, तो हम लोग रेगुलर बेसिस पे इसको कलेक्ट करके रिसाइकिल के लिए भेजते हैं।
लड़कियां क्या करती हैं ना, जो यहाँ पे साफ़ सफाई होती है, जो शौचालय है वहाँ पे जो सैनिटरी नैपकिन, वो जो टूरिस्ट आते हैं, लड़कियां आती हैं, तो वहाँ पे साफ़ सफाई का ध्यान वो रखते हैं। लड़कियों को भी समझाते हैं उसके बारे में कि सैनिटेशन का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाए, यहाँ वहाँ मत फेंके पानी में। तो क्या होता है ना, एक्वाटिक हैबिटेट्स जो है उनके ऊपर अफेक्ट होता है, ये जो इकोलॉन है वो भी डैमेज हो रहा है धीरे धीरे करके, तो इसलिए ये सब कर रहे हैं।
जितना भी वाटर हाइसिंथ है और बाम्बू ग्रास आप देख रहे हैं, ये लोग हम लोग ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। ट्रेनिंग देके यहाँ पे जो जितने भी गांव के लोग, वो लोग वहाँ से बुनाई वगैरह करके मैट्स हुआ या बैग्स हुआ, जो भी हो, वो दूर जितने भी आसपास के गांव हैं वहाँ पे बेचते हैं मेले में। यूथ फॉर वाटर और यूनिसेफ के हेल्प से अभी जितना भी डेवलपमेंट काम हो रहा है यहाँ पे, उसके बदौलत पहले से जैसे रोज़गार छीनता चला जा रहा था, अभी धीरे धीरे रोज़गार वापस आ रहा है। और क्लाइमेट चेंज जो हो रहा था उसको हम लोग प्रिजर्व कर रहे हैं। उससे क्या हो रहा है, टूरिज्म भी डेवलप हो रहा है और बहुत सारे टूरिस्ट भी आ रहे हैं, उससे रेवेन्यू भी जनरेट हो रहा है और गांव के लोग ज़्यादा काम उनको मिल रहा है।
हमर एठी चिंगुड़ी चाष एवं माछ चाष करा जाए, एठी हमर नाहा चालुची एवं बाउंसरे हमर चौकी किंबा कुल्ला टेबुल तैयारी करा जाउची एवं आम ग्राम लोक माने डंगा फंगा चाष माछ चाष मध्य आरंभ कर साराणी, चिंगुड़ी चाष मध्य आरंभ कर साराणी। आम ग्राम रे बहुत किछि उन्नति होबा लागिछि।
So these are some examples from Odisha. So how youth has started taking actions. So they are not only protecting the water bodies, but they also started awareness generation around the water conservation, protecting water bodies, reducing the plastic waste management, and also there are some glimpses on the slide, and I won't take much time. So these are some youth who is supporting for plastic waste management. So they have youth club in their district in Denkanal, and they are working to protect the religious places. They are going there and collecting the plastic waste, and now they have started to building the sheds and buildings from this waste plastic also. And also you can see the pictures from youth. Those have decided to clean the water bodies, beaches, and other tourist places to preserve the environment. Also, Youth for Water is regularly organizing different challenges, how they can clean the water bodies, how they can maintain the environment, how they can save the water, and also you can explore more challenges and more experience on the Youth for Water website, which is available on the Facebook and Twitter also, where you can learn more about this campaign and also about the activities, how youth can get engaged in this action. And also I already mentioned that they are also working with the political leaders to create the youth advocates also and to influence the political decisions. So these are some glimpses from Odisha, and I think this is all from my side. And over to team if any questions are there, and otherwise we can take it forward.
Thank you, sir. If any of you have any sort of questions, you can ask up to sir.
There are a few questions in question and answer section also, if you can kindly go through them.
I think, okay, let me just take it. There are 3 questions over there. First from Amrita Chotraya. She's saying, hello everyone, good afternoon to all. I want to ask a question on climate change. My question is that, could anyone please give me a brief account on climate change? I think when we really saw the presentation, it gave us a very, not brief, but a comprehensive account that how climate change is not just touching our lives, almost everybody's life in terms of, temperature increase or maybe increase in disasters across the countries, plus also a very big financial burden. So those numbers are there. We will definitely share the presentation with you, which will give you a brief account on how climate change is affecting all, corners of our life. Then there is second question is what precautions we can take to save our earth as climate change frequently. I think Odisha's story is really very comprehensive in terms of identifying that what actions youth can take on their level when they really gather together. It's important that everybody has to come together and then they identify their local problems and local issues, be it Lake Chilika or maybe different kinds of water bodies or maybe other kind of work which they have identified. Just identify a problem. Narendra actually showed one slide where this step-by-step approach was there, which says that you first need to identify what is the biggest problem which is contributing to climate change and what you can do. Do you really have plan for that? Third thing important is, do you really have partners to do that? So partnership means, first of all, internal partnership, youth has to come together. And then they also need to see where are other partners if they really want to mobilize some kind of funds, or maybe, a higher level advocacy with their elected representatives over there in their area, or maybe district collectors or chief executive officers, influential people who can be part of their campaign in terms of mobilizing the resources across. So those are different things which youth can do collectively. And then we have already seen, Odisha's story, that how big results have already been achieved with the help of this Youth for Water group. Third question is from JPSI. Why do majority of people still not bothered about the effect of climate change? If it is due to lack of awareness among the people, what are the strategies could be followed to make every individual to become aware? So, it's a very interesting question, very important question, that why majority people do not bother, because they are not able to see the change. And when they really see the change, they are not able to appreciate that this is because of the climate change. For example, if they really feel that water scarcity is there in a particular area, they will directly blame it to the population growth, or maybe reducing water resources. But why this is happening, if we just go a step back and identify that this could be an effect of climate change, then I think it's important for them to understand that if it is because of the climate change, then these are the standard steps which we can take in our community, in our institutions, to move forward in terms of raising awareness, or maybe taking a solid action in terms of changing the situation. And I mean, I will again go to the Odisha story, where we have seen just in terms of numbers, that how many people have actually been engaged, and directly or indirectly people have seen the change pattern in terms of livelihood, in terms of well-being of people, physical and financial well-being. There are changes which one can actually see. So it's about collecting the information from different sources, identifying if there are real best practices available, learn from them, make groups, partnerships, leverage resources, and also keep our advocacy flag high with the highest level kind of engagement. We have seen again in Odisha that the member of parliament, honorable member of parliament, were involved, or maybe the high level people in government, and also civil society were involved in terms of mobilizing people over there. So these are some of the things which definitely can be done with the help of Bharat Scouts and Guides, because you have a power that you are youth. Secondly, you have power that you are there in numbers. So that's important. Then there is a question: how is zero carbon emission related to climate change? Yes, directly related. However, the zero carbon emission is a far-flung reality. I think you must be following the news about the COP conference, which has happened recently in Egypt, where there have been commitment by some of the countries, but it's really requires a mass mobilization, a high-level commitment by the government to really bring not bring first, but bringing the carbon emission level down. And we have already seen our presentation that fossil fuels are the biggest culprit in that. So reducing use of fossil fuels, plus also going for alternate energy, it's something which can directly contribute to the reducing effect of the climate change. Then Darshini Gupta wanted to ask a question: sir, what precautions we should take to save climate change? We need not to save the climate change. We need to, avert the climate change. And then we have seen, different, things which people can actually do at the individual level, institutional level, community level. The important thing is to identify the local problem. I mean, we can't just be indiscriminately going for working on something which is not a problem over there. For example, in your area, if there is a lake pollution, work for the lake pollution. If there is a issue related to the land pollution, work for that, or air pollution, work for that. So in area of air pollution, if we really want to look for something, plastic waste management, which is not a problem over there but very fancy, so this would not be a good investment. So just be keeping our eyes open, keep learning about the issue, keep yourself eyes open about the local problems, issues, talk to the people, talk to the local people. Local wisdom is really very important in all these aspects, where you just sit with the probably the aged people in the community, and then see that how the weather patterns have changed, how the climate change changed, and what could be the local reasons for that. That's very important. Then Ronak Kumar Sharma asked, what is the good substitute of plastic bags that is used for containing liquid because we cannot use cloth bags for it? I think now there are many options available which are there, and then more and more governments are actually coming up with ban on plastic. Of course, there are some things where you cannot completely ban the plastic, but recyclable plastic is something which is really a big concern, and that is the reason more and more government have actually now banned the single-use plastic part of it. This is something which one need to see. Then Jasmine Amir is asking a question: how long would it take to get out of the danger zone if everyone starts to take precautions to save our environment? I think we have also seen those numbers that the time is now. And maybe, if we really work diligently for next 20 years minimum, then only we will be able to, keep the status quo. We cannot go reverse just within 20 years. So substantial efforts are required for next 20 years if we really want to keep the status on which we are there today. And if we do not take action today, then the things are going to be worse day by day. Then there is a question from Kishore, which talks about, can't renewable energy hurt the environment? I mean, I'm still not very able to understand this question. But renewable energy is the renewable energy. That's an alternate source of energy, which definitely is supposed to be, protect the environment, but not hurt the environment. What needs to be done for climate change? I think we have already discussed it. Darshini Gupta asked that what are the functions to save our Earth? I think we have already discussed it in details. The key again here is to identify the local problems and local solutions. Then JLS WC connections, Sharmin Banu, I think they are asking that if this, is it possible that climate change can add as a compulsory subject in academic curriculum? Yes, why not? It has to be there. And then in many of the states, this has been added as a optional subject, but this can definitely become as part of the compulsory subject, and more institutions are now coming up with specialized courses on climate change, environmental sustainability, environmental engineering, where good object-oriented solutions are actually taught to reverse the climate change. Then Jyoti Shukla is asking, no, I think that's only the introduction part of it. Sara Amir, sir, what precautions should we take to reduce the production of greenhouse gases? Good question. Again, reduce the use of fossil fuel based basically use of fossil fuel, be it your oil, be it your natural gas. This definitely, or moving to more sustainable solution, is something which can definitely reduce the production of greenhouse gases. All of our webinar cater to an urban-based and educated crowd. How do we take this message to rural sectors? I think we have already seen examples from Odisha, and also a couple of examples where the rural people have also been included. Because normally what happens that immediately you are not able to see the impact of climate change in rural areas, but ultimately it's going to come in next couple of years. So the same kind of awareness level, same kind of action is actually required in rural areas also. Then how can we make every individual to or increase the number of people involved in contributing even a little towards the climate? It's a very important concern. We have seen that a collective action is required, but again, at the same time, one has to make a first step to move towards the positive environment, and then build partnerships. Mountains are abused by overcrowding tourists. What measures we need to take in order to avoid corroding of environment over there? Yes, of course. I mean, I would definitely say, I'll not say that reduce the tourism part of it, but again, find out the local problems and local solutions. How people can actually, we have seen the big movements happening in India, where the big projects have been kept on hold just because they were not safe for the mountain. And then we have also seen catastrophic floods in Uttarakhand. So just because of people say that this was a man-made disaster because we didn't keep the environment or the climate there intact, just because of the fact that anthropogenic activities have substantially increased in those areas. Main cause of climate change is air pollution and global warming. Yes, of course. There is a restriction on cutting trees, but at the same time, lots of trees are cut down for Holi bonfire. Yeah, of course. We also do need such policies. Policies are there, The issues are, the implementation of those policies and then keeping a watch. So youth can also have, role of those watchers in the community for these kind of, practices which are there in community for so long. But we do feel that these are not good for the climate. How can 5 to 10 years age children can be helpful in this program? I think we have already seen that people from different, ages can be involved in that. And I mean, I still am a very big advocate of, children being the change agents. And we have seen in our school programs that the children, whatever they learn in school, they actually go in their families, and then they teach their parents and the caregivers. So very important. And one of the things can be, as I already said, that the climate change has to be part of the curriculum taught to the children, so that it's right there from their early ages in their lives. India aims to be zero net carbon emission country till 2017, sir. Do you think we can achieve it by then? I already said that there is a big question mark. And mind you, it's not just about India, but it's also about the developed countries who also need to take big steps forward, because the bigger culprits sit there in the developed countries, where more and more fossil fuel is actually used. But again, at the same time, the per capita use is continuously increasing. Could BSD organize some projects on climate change? Of course, why not? That is the reason we are gathering here today. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Sir, is there any connection between noise pollution and climate change? Of course. Does noise pollution affect climate in any way? Yes, of course it does. And the last question is, what are the main threats for climate change? I think we have already seen it. So we have tried to answer almost all the questions over there. Still, if there are any questions, just send it to our colleagues or maybe your central section, and then collect them, and then we'll try to answer those questions as much as possible. And thank you very much from our side. Monica or Santoshi, please take over.
Thank you, Pankaj sir. Thank you, Narendra sir. It was truly an informative session that we all truly seeked for. Thanks for such illuminating words. It was a genuine blessing for all of us to have you both here.
One thing we do here is actually the hand washing part of it. We do have a presentation related to hand washing, but I am not very sure whether we have the time or not. But maybe we can find another, opportunity to discuss detail on that, and then how the hand washing and climate change are actually related with each other, and wash and climate change are related to each other. Yeah.
So there's a poem based on the climate change, and I would like to bestow it. The poem says, I walked up to the terrace today, and what was looking at me? White and yellow daisies for all the world to see. I peered up to the sky and said, it's winter here, you know. It should be frosty and cold and hailing and fluttering with flakes of snows. The climate is all that's changing. We are getting very confused. The animals, plants, and humans, we really are not amused. Who is playing tricks with us? I really do not know. But prepare yourself for the climate change, because, my friend, until you stop, this will never gonna slow. This will never gonna slow. Over to Dipsonadi.
Very nice thoughts, Santoshi. Now, I invite Judge Mrs. Monica Morio, ma'am, Social and Behavior Change Officer, UNICEF Office from Madhya Pradesh, on subject of activities for community engagement. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, Monica, but it's coming a little hazy. I think it'll come.
Please confirm once.
It's not very clear.
Okay.
At least I can't see it very clearly. Santoshi and the others, can you see?
Yes, it's very hazy. It's like downloading.
Now I think it's downloading, Monica. It's hazy. It's actually quite hazy.
Should I?
Monica, can you please switch off your video? I think that should then work. I see.
I'll do that.
Over there. So
I'll do that.
We're experiencing a lot of network problems today, Pankaj.
I know.
Yes. In fact, I've connected from my mobile network because the office network is really poor.
Really poor today, yeah.
Is it coming now?
Just
Yeah,
one, but still the same problem.
Again.
If it is
Give me a
not
second,
too long,
let me change my net.
you or Narendra will try to project it from our side.
Is it possible to share our email? If
No, it's not visible. It's not visible.
It's not very clear. Monica,
Am I audible?
You're audible. Just start again. See if you can share again.
Yes, I'll just try once more. Is it visible now?
It's better. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you everybody, and thanks Pankaj and thanks Naren for setting the context, sharing the technical aspect of the whole climate change. As you all know that we are talking about climate change, and the objective is to introduce, although most of us know a lot about climate change, but we just wanted to bring everybody on a same platform about the technical aspects of climate change. And now I will be taking you through some of the aspects where we will discuss what we can do. What we can do as a scout, a guide, or as an individual, what we can do. So so let me just give you a brief introduction. As you know, in the previous speakers have shared that how important this is to stop the to slow down the climate change process. And if you see the slide, you will see that the almost 3 billion people globally will kind of experience the chronic water scarcity if we don't stop now, if we don't take corrective actions. This is the number which is going to be affected, and the global economy could lose up to 18% of GDP by 2050. Now, the second point, if you see that, and we have discussed a lot, and most of you know that globally, everybody is doing a lot to address the environmental issues, the climate change issues. There are policy changes, the policy reforms are there. But until and unless we don't do anything at the individual level, at the community level, or at the institutional level, we will not be able to, bring that change. So changing the individual and community behavior alone can bring that significant dent in the environment and climate crisis. And I remember one of you have actually asked a question, till when or how we can kind of, achieve this target. So it says that if you read according to the United Nations Environment Program, if 1 billion people out of the global population of 8 billion people adopt environment-friendly behaviors in their daily lives, global carbon emissions could drop by approximately 20%. So this is a target for us. It's like this is something for us to follow, that if each one of us follow the the practices which are friendly to the environment, which save the environment, we will be able to save ourselves and save our future. Now, as you know that Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has, is taking a lot of initiative related to environment change. And one of the initiative which even Pankaj has shared is regarding the COP program, that is the UN Climate Change Conference, and COP stands for the Conference of the Parties. Here, our Prime Minister has actually launched a program, Lifestyle for the Environment, which is LIFE program, and it says that the individual and institutions to drive life as an international mass movement towards mindful and deliberate utilization instead of mindless and destructive consumption to protect and preserve the environment. So basically, we are in a phase where we are doing a lot of use and throw, but we have to become an economy which is more like a circular economy. We have to use things, we have to reuse things so that it is more environment friendly. Now, India's climate friendly approaches, if you see, India has demonstrated a lot of leadership and a lot of schemes like Swachh Bharat Mission, the Govardhan scheme, and Give It Up campaign. I think some of you must have participated in Catch the Rain campaign also. So those are few initiatives which government has taken. And even if we see, the kind of historically, the kind of setup where we live in, Indian civilization, we practice a lot of eco-friendly habits. If you remember, and I'm sure most of you know that at our homes, if a cloth is, a old cloth is always used as a mop. People make fun of it, but actually that's a simple technique of using reusing the resources, and that is the reason why India's per capita CO2 emission are 1.8 tons, significantly lower than the global average of 4.5 tons. Now, transition, as I said, we have to do a transition from circular economy, from a take, make, use, dispose economy to a circular economy. So for a few examples, you can see on the screen where we say that we recycle and reuse the household items, like the cloth bags or certain bottles or jars. We use them. I still remember, my mother used to get her old sari stitched into blankets or doormats or jute sacks, something like that. So basically, we are with this kind of upbringing that we use material instead of just throwing it away. We also have this tendency of using energy efficient ways in our common lifestyle. We prefer sun drying our clothes rather than using a washing machine for that, or hand washing our dishes rather than having a dishwasher. We also use, I am sure you must have had all those shadi meals in dona and pattal, the biodegradable utensils. So these are few things which is there in our society, and we use, and we have to actually go back to those systems which we use. Now, individual action is the core for climate responsibility. As I said, 30 minutes of idling at traffic signal wastes nearly 1 liter of petrol. An average global person wastes 2.5 liter of water in a day in brushing, bathing, utensils, etc. Turning off lights, ACs is another important thing. And if you see, 500 billion plastic bags are used worldwide. So these are few things. These are, I remember one of you have asked a question, how we can do as an individual, or how somebody like, a child of 5 years to 10 years can, support the whole campaign. It is through these things. We need to teach our children that, they have to be energy efficient. So these are the few things which I wanted to flag. Now let me come to why we are engaging with BSG. As you all know that you have a strong ground presence of young people who are disciplined and oriented. You already do such kind of initiatives, and I am being hearing a lot since beginning that there are certain activities which you have done. And then the most important thing, we have a common mandate for social change. You are also working for change, to bring that positive change in the society, and we are also doing that. So why not we just come together and do some good work. Now, expectation from BSG here is, first, adopt climate action in our own lives, where family, neighbor, school, peers, and community. And then we provide a platform to all the adolescent or locals for local solutions and innovations on climate change and hand wash. And this gives me the way to list of activities which we are proposing for the BSG group. First, we wish to do capacity development on climate change. So now, as you have learned today, I'm sure you can take all these tips and knowledge to your fellow classmates, neighbors, families, and all. You can do some demonstrations of hand washing with soap at critical times. I know that Bharat Scout Guide is present at all these strategic locations, including railway stations. So why not we do some demonstrations over there? Drawing and poster competition is something, because you are young, creative mind, and we want to know how you think about this whole topic. So we want to know how you can depict these in your creative ways. If you have any innovations for water conservation, climate change, designing innovative hand wash stations, we would love to know that, and there is a competition for that. Climate change champions through photo stories or short videos, because I know most of you have an Instagram account, or you have a Facebook ID, and you make reels. So why not we make a reel on how to save water, or how to work for a climate change, how to support climate action. We are proposing wall writing for water conservation and climate change. Go Green Drive, where you can plant trees in your school. You can have a kitchen garden at community level, and you need to create that ripple effect. You need to bring all your classmates and your community people for that. Stop single-use plastic bags, and I think this should be in a form of drive. And then again, the cleanliness drive, where you can select any strategic location like a tourist place or a railway station or any strategic location, and we do this cleanliness drives. So these are few sample activities which we are proposing, and I'm sure you have an activity pack for that. Darshana ma'am has shared that in the beginning of her session. So you can, we will have a separate session on this activity pack. Now, before closing, I would like to, just share a small video, and please let me know if this is visible.
Yeah, it's sharing your screen now, Monica.
Yes.
It's a little hazy.
सब कहते हैं कि दुनिया बदल रही है। कभी कभी मुझे भी लगता है हमारी दुनिया बदल रही है, पर अच्छे के लिए नहीं, बुरे के लिए। पर ये हुआ कैसे? मैं भी चाहती हूँ हमारी दुनिया बदले, लेकिन अच्छे के लिए। और जब 2030 में मैं 21 साल की हो जाऊंगी, जोश और सपनों से भरी, सिर्फ मैं ही नहीं, लाखों लोग और भी, तब क्या हमारी दुनिया हमारे सपने पूरे कर पाएगी? 2000
मोनिका डिसकंटिन्यू हो गया, आई थिंक। मोनिका ये फ्रोजन हो गया।
नेटवर्क का इशू है।
Yeah, there's some issue. Do you want to like some Q&A, Monica? Indeed, there's some question and answers in the Q&A.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I got disconnected again.
Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, there's one question somebody asked question in the Q&A. There are 3 questions, but you might like to answer one.
Okay.
Yash is asking what's the motto of this seminar, this webinar.
Okay, so Yash, we are talking a lot about climate change, and we want to, engage Bharat Scout and Guide for the whole campaign. And since you have shared that you have recently joined, so let me tell you, we spoke, we discussed a lot about the technical aspect of climate change, what is climate change, and how we can, take some actions at our level. And now we will be discussing more on how you can engage in this whole campaign. So, and is there any other question? No. So thank you from my end, because there is this connectivity issue. I could not show the film. I don't know how much was visible, but I will share the links of the film so that you can see, and you can see how young people are working and engaging for the climate action. And as Narenji has shared youth for water, I think we can have something like youth for climate action. With Bharat Scout and Guide. This can be an action point for us. So over to you, Santoshi, Deepshona, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for such exemplary brief. Now, I would like to request Sri Bablu Goswami, sir, Assistant Director of Eastern Region, to come up, brief and unveil about the activity pack on climate change. Please, sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Santoshi. And once again, I welcome to all the UNICEF members, Monica Madam, Jimli Madam, Narendra Sir, and Pankaj Sir. Dear changemakers, my dear scouts, guides, rovers, and rangers. You know very well, National Headquarters already issued a circular number 229 on activity pack related to climate action. So inside the activity pack, this is the circular number, which is issued by the National Headquarters. So just go through the circular number 229 and complete the activities with the help of UNICEF, Bharat Scouts and Guides National Headquarters introduce activity pack on climate action. Now this is a activity pack, and in the activity pack there are 9 activities. First activity is join hands together for climate action, which is totally based on the today's webinar. Second one is wash your hand. How to wash your hand in a proper way. So according to this activity, you will demonstrate and invite your community members to do the same. Third one is our sustainable world. In this activity, you will participate or organize a drawing and painting competition in your group, in your district association, with the help of district association or state association or schools. Now fourth one is time for innovation. So to make a project model on water conservation and climate change and or hand washing. So this is the fourth activity. Now fifth activity is I am a champion, are you? So when you are working on climate change, you will share your stories. It is the opportunity. So this is the activity. You will share your activities. Next, write for a cause. So it is also a activities which is depend on water conservation and climate change. Next, this is 6th activities. Another one is test your knowledge. You will participate in quiz competition, which is organized by your group, your district, your state, whatever. So you will participate in quiz competition. Number 8 activities, go green. That means you will participate in sapling plantation in your local areas. And last and 9th activity is live for cleaner, make earth greener. You will participate in a cleaning drive. You will organize cleaning drive or organized by the group, by the district association or the your state association. So there are 9 activities. So you will actively participate in the or complete the activity, prepare a short report and send to the national headquarters in the given email ID, climateaction.sdg13@gmail.com. So this is the email ID where you submit your report, and after getting your the report, national headquarters will give a participation certificate, badge, and so many gift items for you. So dear Scouts and Guides, it is a good opportunity to show your power, to show your activeness, and it is a time to create good things in your community, to motivate your community members to do for the better world. Now, so this is the activity pack, and I shared the one videos. I have already told the Monica madam. Already the members of the Bharat Scouts and Guides started the activities according to the activity pack. So I request the IT team kindly share the short video. It is happen in the Delhi. So one group of Delhi today completed the one Nukkad Natak or activity on the hand washing. So over. हटा दो. Okay, thank you,
Very nice.
IT team. And once again, I request to all the members of Bharat Scouts and Guides, our scouts, guides, rovers, rangers, and unit leaders, kindly complete the activity and share your reports. So we can issue the participation certificates and souvenir items or gift items. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for briefing. We truly anticipate to look forward great number of people joining us in this project. ये कौन इन मौसमों का गला घोट रहा है कि बादलों की आवाज जो गरजती थी सो दब गई है. हवाओं के ये झोंके जो ना ठहरते थे अब सहम गए हैं. दरियाओं में भी पानी जो रुकता था अब सूख रहा है. ये कौन इन मौसमों का गला घोट रहा है कि पोल्यूशन की एक धुंध है जो हर तरफ छाई है. बारिशें भी गुम गई हैं. ये कैसी सिचुएशन आई है. जमीनों पर दरारों के निशान उभर रहे हैं. ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, पोल्यूशन प्रॉब्लम और विभिन्न ऐसे समस्याओं से हम गुजर रहे हैं. झिलमिलाती सी इन वादियों को अब अंधेरे ओट रहे हैं. ये कौन है जो इन मौसमों का गला घोट रहे हैं. With this, I would like to hand it over to Dipsona Di. Over to you.
थैंक यू संतोष जी, बहुत अच्छी शायरी थी. With a great privilege, now I invite Mr. Rajkumar Kaushik sir, Director of Bharat Scouts and Guide, to close the program with his blessing.
Thank you, Santoshi and Sona. All the officials from UNICEF. First of all, thank you very much for joining hands with the Bharat Guides in regard to the climate change program. Actually, the Bharat Guides is already doing a lot of work in regard to the to make the plastic-free India, and after that, the name has been given that plastic tribunal or the there are different name advocacy champions or whatever it is, and you know that now workshop is already going on in Delhi in regard to the advocacy champion, and now they are planning for the next future plan also. And I think all of you will be happy to know that the Bharat has already declared our next 18 National Jamboree as the plastic-free Jamboree, and different activities has been provided there for the children also to collect the polythene if it is somehow entered in the Jamboree ground. And I think the UNICEF has already joined hands with us in regard to the EU report is concerned. So I think that Monica ji may also think, why not this climate change program also can be linked with the Bharat Guides in the Jamboree, and you can have an exhibition there from the UNICEF side, so that the more than 32,000 youth from Pan India as well as from other countries also, they will get benefit of it. So you are most welcome to give your proposal if you are interested. And thank you once again for joining us. And thank you very much to all the youth. Now it's a time for you people. We have already started the program. Now you have to show your strength. And we hope that we will do more and more better in the coming days to show that, yes, now we can change the climate. So once again, congratulations to all of you. And thank you, Bablu, for organizing such a nice webinar and also taking project. Because we are working now with UNICEF under the project of this climate change. And definitely, I think Monica ji and others, we will do better than what we have proposed in the project. That is my assurance from the Bharat Guides side, because I know our youth. If they will enter in any work, means they will do whatever they can do best to their capacity. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for such remarkable words. participants are requested to fill up the evaluation form that is currently being present in the chat box. I would like to repeat it again. Participants are requested to fill up the evaluation form that is currently being visible in the chat box. So moving forward, as we are towards the very end of this orientation, I would sincerely like to call upon Dipsona Das ji, flock leader from East Coast Railway, to come up and deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you.
Thank you, Santoshi. Before the vote of thanks, I request to all the scouts, guides, rovers, rangers, and unit leaders complete all the activities and encourage your colleagues for these activities pack. The last date of submission is 23rd December 2022. Send a brief report on the email address of NHQ and get an opportunity to win exciting prizes. Thank you. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks speech contribution of those who vote really had in this webinar. I am thankful to our beloved Sir Mr. Rajkumar Kosik Sir, Director of Bharat Scouts and Guides, Mrs. Darsana Pavaskar Ma'am, Joint Director of Guides, Program and Training, our Chief Guest, Miss Rojo Andrew Mehri Ma'am, Program Manager, UN Change Batch, WAX. I extend thanks to all the dignitaries of UNICEF, Mrs. Jimli Baru Ma'am, Mr. Pankaj Mathur Sir, Mr. Narendra Singh Chauhan Sir, Miss Monica Moria Ma'am for their cooperation within and the beautiful presentation. It's really helpful to us, ma'am. A special thanks to Mr. Arup Sarkar Sir, Deputy Director of Scouts Boy Program, who did all the master plans behind the scheme. Last but not the least, a big thanks to all the respected leaders of National Headquarters, Mr. Bablu Goswami Sir, Assistant Director of Eastern Region, IT team, and all the audience for the continuous support. I am short of words for all the involvement and willingness to take this webinar high. Thank you. Now, I request to everyone, please stand your respective places for National Anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे